Hey everybody, Geoff Hyland here. Want to give you your August 2025 market update. We've got a lot of things to talk about, and to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what's going on in the marketplace, so we'll just start with that little disclaimer. But we're going to go to some of the exciting news. So the first bit of news I want to share with you is that for July of 2025, which was last month, we saw 305 homes go under contract in our MLS, and these are site-built single-family homes. That is the highest number of pending sales that we have seen since October of 2021. The other bit of really good news is that August 1st, we rounded off at 6.72% interest. Here we are right at the end of the first week of August, and there was just an announcement made today that rates are an average of 6.55%, which is a new 10-month low. So when I sit back and I look at this and try and figure out why we're seeing what we're seeing, the inventory has come down. So we were on this upward trajectory in terms of inventory, and the trajectory nationally is still growing, but here locally in our Prescott area, the inventory for the first time since the first of the year actually slipped month over month. So July we're at 1,287 homes for sale, and as of August 1st, 1,273. I look at that number almost daily, and I can tell you that in the second week of July, we were approaching about 1,330, 1,340 homes. And then I think that we just got an influx of buyers, probably for a number of reasons. Number one, interest rates continuing to soften. So that's going to get buyers off the sidelines and into the game. I think that the stock market recovery is another attribute that contributed to this. And then I think just overall, consumer confidence has sort of started to trickle back in and return to the marketplace, at least here locally. Now, values are they did slip on an MLS-wide average by about 1.25% last month. When you look at the number of buyers that entered the marketplace and that inventory coming down, we are now down below a 5-month supply of homes again. So not willing to look at any of this yet as a turnaround or a trend or anything like that. But here's what I would tell you. If you're a buyer and you've been waiting, I don't know what else you're waiting for. If you're an FHA or VA buyer, there are rates out there available to you right now, sub 6%, which is a fantastic rate. And if you're a conventional borrower, 6.55%. You can ask for a seller concession. It's very easy to get that rate real close to 6% for not that much cost, either out of your pocket or ask some of the sellers that have been on the market for a long time, and some of them are willing to contribute. Now, from a seller's perspective, the active inventory has been on the market now 100 days. So that has come down a little bit, 12.36%. That is the average that the active home on the market in our Prescott MLS is priced at over the market average. So it wasn't that long ago that we were looking at those numbers and they were 15-16% over the fair market value, and now they continue to come down in terms of price reductions. I'm sure you guys are seeing those out there. Days on market stayed pretty stable. MLS wide edged up 1 day to 64, Prescott 57. So about 60 days on market is what the homes that went under contract last month, they were on the market 55 to 60 days on average before they attracted an offer. About half the inventory, 608 homes, is on the market in Prescott, 290 in PV and 102 in Chino. And we finished with 259 total sales closed for the month of July. Now, when you look at the national numbers, there's a couple things that I ran across. Number one, in July, a little over 20% of homes listings nationally experienced price reductions. The good news is that for sellers, this is down slightly from June, marking the first time in 6 months that price cuts have declined nationally. It did indicate that there were a more significant number of reductions. I think the number was over 30%. For example, Phoenix was in the top 5 in terms of price cuts for major metro on a national level. Days on market nationally, you're looking at a continued rise. It was the 16th straight month of homes taking longer to sell on a year-over-year basis. And for the first time, the market has now surpassed pre-pandemic norms for the first time. On a national level, inventory growth continues to rise. So this was the 21st consecutive month of inventory growth on a national level. So what does all this mean? Well, I was excited to see that the inventory levels here locally came down. We're now below a 5-month supply, which is still, right in that balanced market. The number of new homes that hit the market in the month of July actually softened though. So new sellers coming into the market softened a bit. And we saw a lot of buyers entering the marketplace, which to me is a strong signal that, the softening of the rates and the fact that buyers have more options still today than they've had in nearly a decade is giving buyers the confidence to go out and enter the marketplace. If you're one of those sellers that's sitting on the market and you're not attracting an offer, again, I would just encourage you to take a really strong look at what you're competing against. The inventory changes, prices are changing, the market is very fluid right now. It's gonna be really interesting to see if the inventory levels hold where they are, just steady, or if we're gonna see a further decline next month, or things change and we see more sellers entering the marketplace because there's a perception of more buyers coming in. So stay tuned. I will keep you informed as always. And if you have any questions at all, never hesitate to reach out. Thanks a lot.